Boker Tov, everybody. And Shana Tova. We'll start this morning's service where we left off last night, on page 127, with our text, Hashivenu. Return us to the people we want to become, to the people who we used to be, who we know we can be. A colleague, friend, and mentor of mine put this text to music a few days ago, and I wanted to teach it to you this morning. So repeat after me. Your turn. Your turn. From Chadesh. on page 135. We'll begin the service reading together. We stand this day, all of us, in the presence of God, youth and elders, women and men, those close to tradition and those who have been estranged. All are welcome in this community of prayer. Around the world, all Israel greets this holy day. We stand with them, a people united by our history and faith, linked in mind and heart to generations past, who stood before God to be cleansed of their sins in Russia, Poland, Germany, and Spain, in Morocco, Egypt, Brazil, and India. Our great-grandparents are here with us today, and our great-great-grandchildren as well. All are present in memory and hope. We stand this sacred morning, all of us as one. We'll turn the page to 138. And we'll join in song together with the words of Ma Tovu. How great your tents, O Jacob, the tribe of Israel. So I'd like to call up Johanna Sweet for a reading found on page 142.
For those who study Torah, his brothers took Joseph and cast him into the pit. The pit was empty. There was no water in it. Why does the verse tell us that there was no water? If the pit was empty, is that not obvious? It means that there was no water, but there were snakes and scorpions within. Our sages teach, water represents Torah, source of our life and sustenance. When the mind is empty of Torah, snakes and scorpions will enter. Fill your mind with wisdom, with moral values and teachings. You will have no room for what is vulgar, trivial, or unworthy. And so it is written, those who love your Torah find peace. Guided by your words, they will not stumble.
Thank you. We'll continue on page 156 with Asher Yatzar, our prayer for giving thanks for our bodies, and that they worked well enough to bring us here today.
I am perfect the way I am, and a little broken too. I will live each day as a gift I give to you.
You know this part. We praise you, Holy One, for wondrous acts of creation and healing. We'll turn the page and we'll sing together Elohai Neshama, our prayer for gratitude of breathing and our prayer for gratitude of our inner presence being here with us today.
And
Asher beyado nefesh kol hai, ruach kol basar ish. We'll read in English together at the bottom of the page. We give you praise, Adonai. All life is in your hand, and in your care is the soul of every human being. On page 162, we'll begin Nisim B'chol Yom, the prayers for everyday miracles. We'll sing responsibly in Hebrew and in English. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lasech bivina le'avchin ben yom u'ben laila.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power gives mind discernment to distinguish light from darkness.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power opens eyes that cannot see.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power brings freedom to the captive.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokev kefufim.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power lifts up the fallen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, chokah haaretz al hamayim.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power spreads the land upon the waters.
On page 161, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asa li kol tzarki.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power has made all I need.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaber.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power gives firmness to our steps.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish ahumim.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power clothes the naked.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten leya'ef koach.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power gives strength to the weary.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir sheinam einai utnuma me'afapai.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power removes sleep from my eyes, slumber from my eyelids.
Top of page 162. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzelem Elohim.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power made me in the image of God.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani ben horim.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power endowed me with human freedom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power has made me Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael bigvula.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power gives strength to Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tif'ara.
You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power crowns Israel with glory.
We continue on page 170 with the Psukei de Zimra section of our service, Songs of Praise. We'll get ready for some Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
like to call it Melinda Blatt for a reading on page 171.
If our mouths were filled with song as the sea, our tongues with music like the crash of ocean waves, our lips with praise endless as sky above, our eyes aglow like sun and moon, our arms reaching toward heaven like eagle's wings, our legs as graceful as the gazelle in flight, still our words of thanks to you would not suffice, Adonai our God and God of all ages, nor could we bless your name enough for your infinite acts of kindness to our ancestors and to us.
Continue with the Reader's Kaddish, found on page 176. And we'll rise. And we'll continue praying through the Baruch Hu, found on page 178. Page 178, the Baruch Hu. Seated. On page 178, 5 lines down from the middle section in Hebrew, we have our prayer Yotzer, or our prayer for God making us light, renewing light, and making sure that the days and the nights come as we believe them to come. So we'll sing together. Chaim Ovot Meofer Amar Vayehi. At the bottom of page 180, Baruch Atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorot in English. Our praise to you, Adonai, creator of the cosmic lights. I'd like to call up Rick Grabish for a reading, coming on page 183, All Who Are Thirsty.
All who are thirsty, come here for water. Drink deep of Torah, the fathomless well. Seas spread out to distant horizons. Torah encompasses all the earth. Water revives and refreshes the body. Torah is potent, restoring the soul. Soil and pollution swept away in pure waters. Immersing in Torah, the spirit is cleansed. Earth, precious water, free and untrammeled. Torah is open and belongs to all people. Mighty waters pour down like thunder. Torah is shared in a rainbow of voices. Waters flow from heights to the valleys. Torah will dwell in the humble of heart. Raindrops swell into powerful rivers. Begin in your learning, and wisdom will grow. Fountain of gardens, wellspring of fresh water. Words of Torah bring life to the world. Our praise to you, Adonai. We love you offer Israel the gift of Torah.
We'll continue with the recitation of our people, the Shema, found on page 186. Long ago, in the courtyard of the temple on the holy day of Yom Kippur, the high priest proclaimed aloud the sacred name of God, and all the people fell to the ground, prostrated themselves, and called, "Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever." Millennia have passed, but we still speak these words aloud, witnesses forever to the truth of God's dominion. We'll rise for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. We continue with the Ve'ahavta on page 188.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושירתך לבניך ודיברת בם, ושיתך בביתך ובלתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקרבך ושלך להיות על ידך, והיו לשותפות בענייך ותתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Please be seated. As we begin to consider our prayer for freedom, the Michamocha, I'd like to offer an intention. Prayer is for the soul what food is for the body. The strength we get from one meal lasts until the next. So too the blessings of a prayer last until we pray again. The longer the pause between one prayer and the next, the more we're mired in worldly pursuits, in words that dim the purity of the soul, in speech that dulls its brightness. When we pray, we wash away all that clouds our vision and satisfy our spirit's hunger for a higher calling. Prayer gives the soul what food gives the body. We'll continue with Michamocha on page 196. We'll sing together. Mi chamocha v'hem Madonna, mi chamocha neder b'kodesh, Torah v'hilo osef eleh, shira chadesha shiru gedolim b'shimcha al sfat hayam, yachadu hodu v'himlichu ve'ameru Adonai lo leolam va'ed. As we prepare to enter into the Amidah, the Tefillah, our standing prayer, our standing section of our service, where we pray directly with God, I'd like us to consider the words that are not found normally within the Amidah. So the sections like Zochrenu L'chaim, all these sections that we don't sing and that we don't pray during the normal year have heavy significance on a day like today and days during the days of awe. So we'll stand for Tzuri Yisrael and we'll stand through the Amidah. We'll pray the first three prayers together and we'll include the inserts. Tzur Yisrael, Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, U'techinu becha, Yehuda be'Yisrael, Lo aleinu Adonai tzvaot shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai al Yisrael. Page 198. Adonai sebatakita uvia v'teichatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Eloheinu v'imoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Ha'norah El Elyon Komel Chassadim Tobim V'konei Yaakov V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imachot U'mei Geula Livnei B'neihem Levan Shemo V'achava Zorei Elchayim Melech Ha'aretz V'Ha'chayim V'choreinu V'tzarech V'Ha'chayim V'ma'amad Elohim Chayim Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah Adibor Olam Adonai V'Chayei HaKol Atzara V'Oshiach Ma'avid Chatzah V'Chamel Chayim V'Chesed V'Chayei HaKol V'Rachamim Rabim Somer Knofim V'Rotech Olim U'Matir Asurim U'Mayei Emunazot V'Shenei Afar Michamocha Ba'al Kippurot U'Midonecha Melech Levi U'Machayeh U'Matzliach Yeshua Michamocha Elcharahamim Zocher Yetzuram L'chaim 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 L'man Hatzalach Hayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechanei HaKol like to call up Lois Fink for a reading found on page 207, reading number 3.
Who by fire, who by water, who in the sunshine, who in the nighttime, who by high ordeal, who by common trial, who in your merry, merry month of May, who by very slow decay, and who shall I say is calling, who in her lonely slip, who by barbiturate, who in these realms of love, who by something blunt, who by avalanche, who by powder, who is for his greed, who for his hunger, and who shall I say is calling, who by brave ascent, who by accident, who in solitude, who in this mirror, who by his lady's command, who by his own hand, who in mortal chains, who in power, and who shall I say is calling.
On page 210, we continue standing in body or in spirit for the Unetana Tokath. We'll read the English at the bottom of page 210 to prepare us for this text. And so a great shofar will cry, Tekiah. A still small voice will be heard. Angels in a whirl of fear and trembling will say, Behold the day of judgment, for they too are judged. In your eyes even they are not blameless. All who come into the world pass before you like sheep before their shepherd. As a shepherd considers the flock, when it passes beneath the staff, you count and consider every life. You set bounds, you decide destiny, you inscribe judgments. On page 208, we'll begin with the Unetana Tokath. We'll flip back one page.
Unetana Tokath Ketushat Hayom Ki hu nohora liayom Uvotina se malchutecha Bikon v'chesed kisecha v'teishev
In English, let us proclaim the power of this day, a day whose holiness awakens deepest awe and inspires highest praise for your dominion. For your throne is a throne of love, your reign is a reign of truth. On page 212. Rosh Hashanah yikatevu, u'v'yom Yom Kippur yikatemu. Rosh Hashanah yikatevu, u'v'yom Yom Kippur yikatemu. Kama yahavu v'chama yibareu. Mi yichyeh u'mi yamut, mi b'kitzo u'mi lo b'kitzo. Rosh Hashanah yikatevu, u'v'yom Yom Kippur yikatemu. Rosh Hashanah yikatevu, u'v'yom Yom Kippur yikatemu. Mi va'esh u'mi va'mayim, mi va'cherev u'mi va'chaya, mi va'rav u'mi va'tzama. Berosh Hashanah yikatevu, u'v'yom Yom Kippur yikatemu. Berosh Hashanah yikatevu, u'v'yom Yom Kippur yikatemu.
המגפה, מבחניקה ומבסקילה. בראש השנה יקצנו, וביום צום כיפור יחצנו. בראש השנה יקצנו, וביום צום כיפור יחצנו. מי ינוח ומי ינוח, מי ישקט ומי יתערב, מי ישלב ומי יתייסר, מי יעני ומי יאשר, מי ישפל ומי ירום. בראש השנה יקצנו, וביום צום כיפור יחצנו. בראש השנה יקצנו, וביום צום כיפור יחצנו. In English, we read what we just chanted. On Rosh Hashanah, this is written. On the fast of Yom Kippur, this is sealed. How many will pass away from this world? How many will be born into it? Who will live and who will die? Who will reach the ripeness of age? Who will be taken before their time? Who by fire and who by water? Who by war and who by peace? Who by famine and who by drought? Who by earthquake and who by plague? Who by strangling and who by stoning? Who will rest and who will wander? Who will be tranquil and who will be troubled? Who will be calm and who tormented? Who will live in poverty and who in prosperity? Who will be humbled and who exalted?
On page 214, Uteshuva, Utefila, Utsedaka, Ma'avirin et roa hagzera. In English at the top, but through return to the right path, through prayer and righteous giving, we can transcend the harshness of the decree. We'll continue silently the rest of the Amidah, either the words on the pages or the words of our own heart until page 250, sorry. And feel free to be seated when you are finished. page 250. We conclude our prayers with the words, Yiyu l'ratzon imrefi. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable. Yiyu l'ratzon imrefi, v'hegyon livi lefanecha. Yiyu l'ratzon imrefi, v'hegyon livi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Yiyu l'ratzon imrefi, v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Yiyu l'ratzon imrefi, v'hegyon libi lefanecha. I'd like to call up anyone who is a Kohen or Kohenet for the priestly benediction. Please rise.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and protect you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha vihunecha. May you receive the light of God's kindness and grace. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bestow favor upon you and give you peace.
Thank you. We'll stay standing for the Avinu Malkeinu text found on page 252. We'll start by singing together to enter into the space, and then we'll continue with responsive reading in Hebrew and in English. Feel free to read either the Hebrew or English, whichever suits your fancy this morning. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Aneinu, Aneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, Le'oshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Aneinu v'Aneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim. At the top of page 252, Avinu Malkeinu, Shma Kolenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, hear our voice.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we have strayed and sinned before you.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol Aleinu, V'al Olaleinu V'tapenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and our families.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei Devel V'cherev V'ra'av Me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the onslaught of sickness, violence, and hunger.
Avinu Malkeinu, kaleh kol tsar umastin me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the reign of those who cause pain and terror.
Avinu Malkeinu, kotvenu b'sefer hayim tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu, enter our names in the book of lives well lived.
Avinu Malkeinu, chadesh aleinu shana tova.
Avinu Malkeinu, renew us for a year of goodness.
Avinu Malkeinu, maleh yadeinu v'birchotecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, let our hands overflow with your blessings.
Avinu Malkeinu, harem keren meshichecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, let our eyes behold the dawn of redemption.
Avinu Malkeinu, na'al shivenu rekam milfanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we pray, do not turn us away from you with nothing.
Avinu Malkeinu, kabel b'rahamim uvratzon et tfilatenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, welcome our prayer with love, accept and embrace it.
Avinu Malkeinu, aseh imanu lema'an shmecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name.
Avinu Malkeinu, aseh lemancha im lo lemanenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, ask for your sake, if not for ours.
Avinu Malkeinu, ein lanu melech ela ata.
Avinu Malkeinu, you alone are our sovereign.
Avinu Malkeinu, ptach sha'arei shamayim litfilatenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, let the gates of heaven be open to our prayers.
Avinu Malkeinu, shma kolenu, chus v'rachem aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, hear